All right, let's get right into it. When you think enlightenment, what comes to mind? For most of us, it's this idea of escaping, right? An exit strategy from all the chaos of the world. But what if that's totally backwards? What if true awakening isn't about leaving the system, but about learning how to operate it from the inside with total and complete freedom?
So, is enlightenment really an escape? I mean, that's the big question here. The usual story is you find your inner peace and poof, you've checked out. You're done. But the Bodhisattva path? Whoa! It just flips that whole script upside down. It suggests a kind of freedom that's way more radical and way more involved. And this slide just lays it all out, right? On one side, you have the conventional view, escaping the system. But the Bodhisattva's path, that's like getting root access to reality. You're not trying to bail. You're becoming a super user. You can operate freely inside the system, not just to free yourself, but to help everyone else who's still playing the game. It's a massive shift from focusing on me to focusing on we.
So, to really get a grip on this, we need a whole new way of thinking. Let's ditch the old dusty philosophy books for a second and think of it like software for the mind. Let's call it the Bodhisattva OS.
And what is this Bodhisattva OS? Well, think of it as system-level programming where compassion isn't just a choice you make, it's a core function. It becomes this automatic, built-in response to seeing others suffer. You see, it's not some app you decide to open, it's baked right into the kernel of your being. It just runs. So how does this automatic response actually work? Well, it's pretty much a four-step process. First, the system is always on, constantly scanning for suffering. Step two, that perception isn't just a casual glance. It's a deep recognition that instantly triggers compassion. That, in turn, kicks in the core vow to help all beings, which leads directly to step four, executing a real, tangible, compassionate action. It's this seamless loop, from seeing to doing with zero hesitation.
And this isn't just a simple one-note thing. Oh no. This OS powers what you could call a full-stack compassion engine. It's designed to operate on every single level of existence to support others. This table here, it's just a brilliant way to see all the different modules of the system. A bodhisattva isn't just one thing. They are a parent, laying the groundwork. They're a ship captain guiding you out of those endless cycles. They're a refuge when you need safety, and a light when you need to see the path ahead. It's a complete, all-in support system.
Okay, but this brings up a huge, massive philosophical problem. I mean, if you're going to dive headfirst into all the world's messiness, how on earth you keep from getting dragged down by it all? This is the first piece of the puzzle. You have to engage with all of it, the suffering, the greed, the anger. So the question is, how do you work in that kind of environment without getting corrupted by the very system you're trying to fix?
And then there's this even deeper level. If you have this profound insight that everything is fundamentally empty, that nothing has a solid, separate existence, then why bother? Seriously, how do you square that ultimate truth with the urgent, real-world need to act with compassion? That is the core tension, the central challenge of this whole path.
The answer, it turns out, lies in the system requirements. To run an OS this advanced, you need the right foundational code, and you need a solid connection to the main network.
And here they are, the 10 essential parameters. You can think of these as the minimum system specs. You gotta have pure motivation, you have to be a constant learner, you need to walk the path with others. It's all about connecting to the right system, constantly upgrading your skills, and staying driven by that deep, compassionate vow. And this tack analogy for a spiritual guide, it's just perfect. They're your API, your application programming interface to the whole Dharma realm. They are your secure connection, your access point to that universal system of wisdom and compassion. They give you the right protocols to actually interact with this higher level of reality.
All right, so what happens when this OS is fully installed and you've got a great connection? Well, your entire perception of reality just shatters. It undergoes this radical, absolutely mind-bending transformation. Just try to wrap your head around this for a second. This quote describes a bodhisattva's awareness. In a single pore of their skin, they can see it all. Countless worlds, Buddhist teaching, every being in the cycle of life, and all of time, past, present, and future, unfolding at the exact same moment. It is a completely holographic vision of reality. Mind-blowing, right?
So the core principle here is actually pretty simple, but it's incredibly profound. The part contains the whole.
Every tiny piece of the universe reflects the entire thing. It's a concept that, we see echoed in things like modern physics and fractals, but it's laid out here with just stunning clarity. This state of perception has a name: Indra's net awareness. Picture this: a vast, infinite net. At every single knot, there's a perfect shimmering jewel. Now, if you look into any one of those jewels, what do you see? You see the reflections of all the other jewels in the entire net. That's it. That is how a fully realized bodhisattva sees reality, as this seamless, infinitely interconnected whole.
So, what does all this mean for us, right here, right now? How do we take these huge, incredible ideas and make them something we can actually use?
Let's boil it down to the key insights. First, real freedom isn't about escaping reality. It's about being able to step into any situation, joy, sorrow, total chaos, without getting stuck or defined by it. Second, that deep compassion we talked about, it's not just a nice feeling. It's a fundamental law of this operating system, like gravity. And finally, the goal isn't just to realize emptiness. It's to fuse that insight with infinite, nonstop, compassionate action. And this gives us our own path forward, our own little training program. 3 key practices. Number 1, turn insight into action. Don't just sit around understanding these concepts. Go out and use them to help people. Number 2, make compassion a reflex. Train that response until it becomes your absolute default setting. And number 3, practice right here in the middle of the world. Your relationships, your job, your daily grind, that's the gym. That's your spiritual arena.
And that really brings us to the ultimate takeaway. This entire path, this whole advanced operating system, it's not about finding an escape hatch. It's about becoming a source of light and clarity and compassion exactly where you are, for the good of everyone. It's about showing up 100%, not checking out.